Hi, this is Christine with Stampin' Up, and I am in the middle of making a card, and I've realized that I don't quite have everything color coordinating that I want. So I'm going to show you guys how to make your ribbons and embellishments the same color as your project, even if you don't have those ribbons and embellishments. So let's get started. My card base is thick white, and I have already glued this piece of shaded spruce to the card. I'm going to be using the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper, more of the shaded spruce, and I have die cut this tag using, or not tag, but layer, using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which are some of my favorites. So as you may have guessed from the color choice, I am making a Christmas card. I'm using the Perfectly Plaid set to do that. I'm going to start with my sentiment. I'm just using the simple Merry Christmas, and I'm using shaded spruce ink. I just want to make sure I've got enough ink on that. Very nice. All right, so the next stamp I want to use is one of the many trees that are on here. So I'm using this actually open detailed tree, which I really like. And I'm stamping one on top of the other, which looks a little suspect right now. But there's going to be a third tree, and I'm doing it just on a regular scrap of Whisper White. So this is thinner than the actual cardstock for the card itself, and it comes in a pack of 40, so lots to play with. And that's it for our stamping. So I'll put my ink pad away before I stick my fingers in it. And our stamps. So I'm going to punch out this tree using our pine tree punch. So I'm kind of positioning it and pressing part way down with my punch to make sure I have it right where I want it. And there we go. So this will be stuck on top of those two for a third tree. But before I get to that, I would like to put some green ribbon on this layer. I haven't got the ribbon in question, but what I do have is some white seaming ribbon, and this works with any of our ribbons. I'm using my Stampin Blends marker. It's our alcohol markers, and I'm just running it along the ribbons. So you can do this with our whites and our vanillas, and they just soak up the color. This dries really quickly, and I did not measure how much I needed before I started, which would have been smart. So the key to this is just working on a scrap paper, because it obviously does make a bit of a mess. So it's super simple. It dries really fast because it's alcohol, so I won't have to wait a ton of time before being able to use it. If you wanted to, you could even leave some blank spots for kind of a different sort of effect. And I think I'm going to do more than I need here. Just going to give that a quick measure. So even, I mean, I just did it and it's already fairly dry to the touch, and that's plenty. So I'm just going to cut that. Whoop. There we go. So I'll set that aside, and I'll just let this ribbon completely dry. The other thing is I'm going to want to put some embellishments on that tree that I cut out. and I don't have the green, so I'm going to use pearls to give it a bit of extra character. So for the pearls, you just color them. Isn't that awesome? And then you've got the embellishment in the exact color you want. I'm just going gently around so I'm not ruining the tip of my marker. And it's probably enough. So I'm just going to use my pickup tool to grab those. The Take Your Pick tool has a few different ends. I like to use the sharp picky guy to pick up embellishments. So these are already dried to the touch as well and can be picked up and used. And you know what? I'm going to try the sticky tip because that's just not working. So it's got a putty tip as well that has the sticky putty in it. And see that I just grabbed it. And I'll be fairly random with these. So these are just the regular pearls, basic pearls I think they're called, and they are adhesive, so you don't have to worry about adding anything else to them. And there, just to add a little character to my tree. And now let's assemble the card. So we'll do our plaid layer. So this ribbon, I mean, I did not edit this video. The ribbon is dry and ready to go, which is just awesome. And it's the exact color I wanted. Now it is a little bit stiffer than it was before I colored it, but it's a nice thin ribbon and easy to work with anyway. Bows are not my forte. I don't know why I do this to myself on video, but anyway, here we are. Oh, that's dreadful. So just give it one more go. There, that's better. So I'll trim the ends on that when I'm ready. And I will be moving that over. So if you find your ribbon's not where you want it, just squeeze your paper together and move it a bit. There we go. All right, so I'm going to glue these two layers together and add my tree. So I'm just using liquid glue for this. There we go. And for our tree, I'm going to use dimensionals to pop that up. So those are double-sided foam pieces, and it's just going to give a little bit of depth to the card. So just peel the backs off, and there we go. And we'll glue this card down. The ribbon is super thin, so it's not going to cause a bump in the paper. Oh, I love this black and white plaid too. I find that so hard with plaids or papers that you like both sides. You have to sacrifice one side to use it. It's never an easy decision for me. As a result, I tend to hoard my paper. Should probably move this where you can see it. There we go. And I'm going to attempt to put my bow a little bit more sideways. There we go. So because I've got a layer already on the tree, I don't want to make this too thick or it can be a bit of a problem for mailing. So I'm just going to glue that down with the liquid glue. What's nice with working with plaids is you've got these great straight lines that you can, you know that you're putting everything down nice and straight. Alright, so I'm just going to trim the tails on that. And I want to add a little bit of bling to this because it is a Christmas card and Christmas bling is fun. So I don't have any green rhinestones available either, but we can easily make those as well. And I'll just use my bone folder to flatten that nicely. There we go. So I'm going to use the rhinestones the same way as I just did the pearls. And I'm just going to color a few of those. See how they take on the color right away? Just like so. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool again as soon as I find it, and it's under here. I see a tiny smudge of ink, which probably no one would notice but me, but I'm going to cover it with a rhinestone. So there's no real rhyme or reason to where I'm putting these guys. I'm just adding a wee bit of color. And put that one over here. There we go. So that is how to color your ribbons and your embellishments to match your cards that you're working on. I hope these tips were useful. Thanks.